Well, Nick, that was rather insane. You just sort of search and finally got Terrence to get going in the fourth. What was it like trying to find something tonight?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was, Doug. I think, it's probably a scenario where you think it may be one of those nights anyway. We were subbing pretty freely in the first half, I thought. And again, there was some empty tanks out there, obviously. And then I kind of just really wanted an energy burst from Stan. And then I kind of said, well, let's just do them. Let's just get both of them in there and see what happens. So luckily it turned out they both impacted the game greatly, and obviously Terrence did big time.
Pascal's defense in that fourth quarter was really, really significant. He didn't fill it up tonight, but that shows what kind of game he can have, right?
Yeah, he was really, really digging in there late. And I think, Doug, we got 7 out of 8 stops in the last portion of the game. And obviously we had a really good first quarter defense and a really good fourth quarter defense. So, but yeah, you're right. Pascal was moving and keeping his man in front of him and switching and being aggressive and challenging. I think you got a piece of 2 3-pointers, I think.
Great. Thanks very much, Nick. Have a safe trip back down south.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Doug. We'll go to Blake Murphy.
Hey, Coach. First, a bit of a lighter one, I guess. What was your reaction to that Edwards dunk that Utah tried to contest there at the end of the third?
I thought it was a really good dunk. I kind of saw him taking off early. That was a monster dunk, no doubt.
I'm just curious. You mentioned the defense and how good it was a couple quarters. They went on that extended run in the third. You as a coach, just in terms of when you go back and visit the game, do you think about things like, oh, maybe I could have used the timeout here, or what you could have done different, or is it kind of just
for sure?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, and it's always easy when you go back and look. That's one of my big things. That's so great. I watched the tape and realized I should have done something different there. That doesn't do me a hell of a lot of good, except for you can try to learn from it and maybe be a little quicker there. The next time. Just really we're having a hard time scoring the ball, getting good looks for a stretch, and then when we did get good looks, we couldn't make any of them. Just a tough moment of the game where we just couldn't score, and it made it hard to guard them too.
Well, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you are.
We'll go to Josh Lundberg.
Hey, Nick. In a game like this where offense is a little bit harder to come by, how important is it to have a guy like Norm out there who not only scored the 31 points, but a willing shooter in some of those stretches where there might have been a little bit too much passing, a little bit overpassing?
Yeah, I thought we had a good point. First of all, I mean, Norm was great. Obviously, made a couple really critical drives, I thought, in transition when we really needed them. He certainly got off to such a great start too. But you're right. The point you make about, I thought a bunch of guys turned down shots, and I don't know. It just never, if a rhythm shot's there, pretty much anybody on our team's, supposed to take it. Because when you don't, you usually let the defense reset, and then you're pounding it into them again and right into the teeth of it. So, and especially when we got pretty much like an all reserve lineup out there, they've got to let the offense be the offense, right? Not one-on-one play or, late pick and roll play or whatever. They've got to cut and move and pass. And they did, except for they turned down the first open look and sometimes the first 2 open looks. And then we were playing against the shot clock and not getting a good shot anyway.
Great. Thanks, Nick. Safe travels.
Thanks, Josh. We'll go to Steven.
Hey, Coach. I just want to ask you about the defense again. It looks like the team was really well connected. Your defense was very strong all game. Is that encouraging, knowing that you can kind of win ugly like this? So like is that a sign that your defense has kind of come around to the level you want it to be at?
Yeah, I mean, I think really happy with the execution in 3 straight games, Steven. Like you hear me talking all the time. Do we come out ready and do we come out executing the schemes? And we did, right? And that's really, really important. That really gives us a chance. And then when we go in have a funky offensive night, it's the only way you're going to win. the only way you're going to give your chance in a night when you're, you've played 3 and 4 and a back-to-back and all on the road, and you just don't start making shots that your defense holds you close, and then you do make a few at the end. But when you get 7 out of 8 stops to end, you can overtake them.
I guess how encouraging is it, like, knowing that like you can kind of like rely on this defense again as a backbone? It's kind of remind me of what you guys were doing like last season, like a kind of like plugging and playing with the kind of guys in and out of the lineup, and your defense just kind of holds steady.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there, Steven. I think we're getting there. I'm not sure we're quite there yet, but we're showing signs of getting there. And it's totally important. I think, like I said, it gives us a chance any night out.
Great. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Okay.
We got one more for you, Coach. It'll go to Chris O'Leary.
Hey, Nick. Kind of a simple question, but just looking over the last month, how would you describe what Norm has given you guys?
Well, he's been a primetime player, Chris. He really has. He's been at his very best since he's been here, and that means as a two-way player, he's playing great. His shooting's great. He's exploding to the rim, but he's also been put on some tough matchups as well, and he's handled those. He's been a good team defender as well, a solid rebounder, at least in his blocking out and things like that. So his entire game, his all-around game has been good. Obviously, the scoring shows up because he has been super explosive there too. But he's been as good as he's ever been for us.
Does his leadership evolve at all in this stretch, or is that just kind of always what it's been?
No, I think it does. It's a good point, Chris. I think that he really has a little bit of a swagger to him, and that comes from years in the league and knowing, what he can do and what he can encourage the other guys to do or try to keep them going. And I thought, again, when you're just playing aggressively and you're playing physical like he has been, that's pretty good leadership by example right there too.